and check out their website, coolgreenclothing.com, where you can find the latest cool green fashions and hats, women's apparel, and the latest men's collection. Remember, if you ain't coolin' and getting the green, you're in the way.
Rain, shorty. Got you, son. Appreciate the outfit, boss, man. I put this shit together. You hear me? Rip.
Yes, sir. You
Yes,
feel
sir,
me?
man.
Yeah.
How to do it, man.
Shout out, man. Shout out to Cool Green, man. You feel me? Variety of stuff, man. You feel me? Good dude for real. You know what I mean? His design is impeccable, man. You know what I mean? It speaks for itself.
Cool Green selling. Cool Green is what's up. Baltimore people need to get on that. Cool Green.
Yeah.
All right? From old head. Let you know.
How old you is, man?
57.
57. And you know about the Cool Green, right?
I know about the Cool Green.
Man, this man 57 years old. He know about the Cool Green.
Welcome back, fam. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I invite you to join the 2Times fam. Tap that subscribe button, hit the notification bell to get notified of all uploads. Be sure to like this video if you're rocking with the content. Comment down below and share your thoughts. Of course, always keeping it respectful. Share this video with everyone you know. Make sure you watch till the end to get the full context of the story. In this video, we will discuss Jamira Hall, a mother who confessed to taking the lives of her 2 young children. Please be aware that details in this story can be tough to listen to. This is your trigger warning. All right, let's get right into it. Jamira Hall, 28, of Baltimore, was the mother of 2 beautiful children, Danira Thomas, 6, and Davin Thomas, 8, whose bodies were found in their apartments in the 500 block of Coventry Road in Southwest Baltimore on August 24th, 2021. Neighbors complained of a strange smell, which they thought may be a dead animal or an overflowing dumpster. After maintenance was called to investigate the smell, they realized it was coming from the apartment Jamira shared with her 2 children. Once maintenance entered the apartment, they discovered the horrific scene and called 911 immediately. Once paramedics arrived, they found the body of a young child in a sleeping bag on the living room floor and the lifeless body of a little girl who was identified as Jamira's daughter in the bathtub with an article of clothing wrapped around her neck. They were pronounced dead on the scene, with their bodies being in the early stages of decomposition. Once the forensic examiner arrived, they turned over the body of the child in the sleeping bag, who was identified as Jamira's son, to discover a large weapon lodged in the right side of his chest and a plastic bag wrapped around his neck and face. Paperwork and ID badges left at the apartment led investigators to the children's mother as a suspect, who was nowhere to be found at the time. Neighbors arriving home to see the yellow crime scene tape around the building were in absolute shock to find that 2 children had been left for dead in their home. The neighbors, who especially knew the mother and her 2 children, couldn't believe this had happened. People who were familiar with them said that they would see the children playing outside all the time, and that Jamira seemed to be a very invested and loving mother. Jamira was even seen spray painting a new table for her kids in sky blue. The blue spray paint still marks the grass where she completed the project for her children. The children and their mother were last seen outside together on August 19, 2021. A neighbor told officials on August 24th that he had heard what could have been a little girl screaming, "Mommy, no, Mommy, no," the night of August 19th. The screams were suspected to have come from 6-year-old Danira, who was found in the bathtub. As police continued the investigation, others told them they witnessed Jamira throwing away what looked to be children's belongings days before, but they thought nothing of it. They thought maybe she was just storing away old things and getting ready to replace it with new things. Another person who lives not too far from the apartments said he used to see the children playing outside almost every day when he walked his dog. He would allow the children to play with the dog and gave them pocket change or candy when he would see them. However, he said he had stopped seeing them for a few days. Jamira's mother told officials that the last time she talked to her daughter was over the phone on August 23rd. She said Jamira told her that she was in the hospital and the children had been taken by their father. That turned out to be untrue. Once investigators reached out to the father, he told them the children weren't with him. He reported last seeing Jamira within the last few days, screaming, cursing at no one, and walking aimlessly around North Avenue and Bloomingdale Road, and she appeared to be under the influence, he reported. The next day, detectives received a lead that Jamira was in an Uber headed to Baltimore County. Members of a special task force were called to Road and Rossville Boulevard, where they were able to intercept the Uber that Jamira was in. She was taken in for an interview, during which time she confessed to the killings of her 2 children. She was then formally charged later that night and remains in custody. The details of this crime are absolutely horrific, and many could wonder how what seemed to be a mother who loved her children could take them both out of this world in such a violent way, allegedly. The tragic incident wasn't the first time Jamira was investigated for putting her children in harm's way. In 2018, Baltimore police had issued an alert after Jamira and her children went missing. Her parents thought the mother and the children could be harmed. The 3 were quickly found safe in Baltimore County after she admitted herself and her children to Northwest Hospital. According to 2018 charging documents, Jamira's parents reported that she set items on fire in her mother's home in the 100 block of Up Manor Road while the children were inside with her. The children were there with her spending the night. According to police, Jamira disabled all the smoke alarms in the home and burned family photos and mementos. Authorities said that the images had been assembled into something described as a makeshift altar or shrine. They found the photos arranged on the dining table that had been removed from the walls of the home. The seating area of the sofa had family photos carefully arranged and displayed on it. Police also found a frying pan with photos that appeared to be set on fire in the second floor bedroom, according to court records. CPS investigators were called. They asked Danira about the fire at her grandmother's house. "Mommy was doing that," Danira responded, according to charge documents. Jamira was subsequently charged with first-degree arson and endangering the lives of her children. She pled guilty and received a 5-year sentence with all but 1 year suspended. She was also ordered to pay $3,000 restitution for the damage of her mother's home. Later that year, Jamira filed for custody of her 2 children and was granted custody when the father failed to show up to court proceedings. There is no indication in court records that Maryland CPS took any action to protect the children. Jamira wrote, "I have been sole physical custody provider of both children. The father has been absent until my previous incarceration. He has tried to keep them away." Reporters were unable to reach the father for comment. Jamira had written on social media often about the joys and struggles of motherhood. Back in April of this year, Jamira posted on Facebook her struggles with depression and how it navigated her to start her own business selling hemp-infused products. She said, "In the beginning of the 2020 pandemic, I found myself going back into depression. I was not able to work because my family needed me at home," Jamira wrote. "Every month, I had supervised probation office visits. I suffer from myofascial pain syndrome. PTSD always taps me on the shoulder and triggers my anxiety." Jamira would also post about her children. "My two little best friends, they perfect to me. A bond that can never be broken," she posted in April. In June, she alluded to more challenges by posting, "Being your mom was never easy, but you can agree it was worth it. Always love you to the moon and back," she wrote to her son. Jamira even featured her kids on a podcast she started called Be More Charming. In one episode, Jamira said in a melodic tone, "Y'all been driving me crazy, but I love y'all." One of her children presumably responded saying, "I love you too." After confessing to what she has allegedly done, Jamira's charges include 2 counts of first-degree murder, first-degree assault, and reckless endangerment. She's being held without bond. Her public defender has requested a competency evaluation, and the judge granted the request. I guess we can only wait to see how things will unfold in this tragic case. Had Jamira's cries for help with her mental illness gone unchecked? Did Maryland CPS fail to protect the children after knowing Jamira's struggles? I do believe Jamira loved her children, but something went terribly wrong that night she allegedly ended her. Did the hardships of being a single mother get too much to bear, or was it something else that was deeper? Was she under the influence? So many questions as to why this seemingly loving mother would snap. But hey, that's the Baltimore way. My sincerest and deepest condolences to the family of Davin and Danira Thomas. They were innocent children who didn't deserve to die at the hands of their mother, allegedly. This story was not easy to get through, and I apologize if I may have triggered anyone in any way. I hope Jamira receives the help that she needs if mental illness is determined to have played a part. Rest in peace to those beautiful babies. Thank you all so much for watching until the end. I invite you to like, share,